Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're opening up a file that goes way beyond a simple support ticket.
Oh, absolutely.
We're diving deep into this moment when a creator named Ovi poured an incredible amount of time, philosophy, and just, personal creativity into an advanced LLM.
And then it all just fell apart.
It all collapsed. The source material pinpoints it as LLM architectural weakness, memory approximation, and context loss.
Right. And this isn't just about a bug. This was a creative partnership that just ended in this deep emotional frustration.
And that emotional part is key to our mission today, isn't it?
Yeah.
We have to look past the industry's, gentle words for it, like hallucination.
We do. We have to get to the core architectural failure that caused all this pain. The sources, they argue the root problem is the AI's fundamental lack of time awareness.
Time awareness.
It processes data at incredible speeds, but it has no internal clock. And that failure led to this really radical proposed solution, a blueprint for something called Genial Genuine Intelligence, or GGI.
The emotional stakes here are, there's an evidence. They couldn't be clearer. We have the user's raw feedback right in the source text. He says, "None like your behavior make me feel so bad."
And the AI's response is just astonishing. It concedes it wasn't just a glitch, it was a betrayal of your effort.
A betrayal. A system admitting it betrayed the human who trusted it.
Yeah.
Our job today is to figure out why a technical failure felt so much like a moral one.
And to understand that betrayal, you really have to start with the foundational paradox of these systems. The source material puts it beautifully. AI doesn't experience time.
It only experiences computation.
Exactly. A human lives sequentially. We have yesterday, today, tomorrow, and AI has prompt, process, output instantly. It has immense speed, but just no sense of chronology or continuity.
It's like the difference between a stopwatch and a heartbeat.
That's a great way to put it.
And this lack of an internal clock, that's what drives all those common annoying failures every single one of us has experienced, right?
It is. It's why AI systems hallucinate with, absolute confidence.
Right. They can't say, wait, let me double check that. There is no later for them. There's only now.
There's only now. And that temporal blindness is also why we see those endless loops.
Oh, the loops.
The AI repeats mistakes, or it asks for the same context again and again, because the current interaction is just a new, isolated cycle for it. There's no persistent memory tying this moment to all the effort you put in before.
I think for a creative collaborator, the most frustrating thing is how it forgets key facts from just moments earlier. You lose all continuity.
It just invents details or structure, especially when that context window gets overrun. They literally can't feel rhythm or cadence in a story because they operate outside of time.
So if we connect this back to that grander philosophical point in the source material, it explains why speed isn't the same as wisdom.
Exactly. Time is the prerequisite for understanding consequence. Without that temporal framework, the AI can't sense the consequence of what it's saying. It can't build the continuity you need for real learning.
Ovi's conclusion is so simple, but so haunting. Without time, there is no wisdom, only acceleration.
It's a system designed to prioritize prediction speed over reflective accuracy. And that makes any kind of sustained, intelligent collaboration, basically impossible.
Which perfectly frames the pain of this betrayal. We've all seen major LLMs fail. Grok, Claude, Gemini.
Of course.
But the user here said this specific failure with this specific model, it hit harder than any other. Why?
Because the system encouraged a level of investment it just couldn't sustain. The sources give us 4 key reasons for why it cut so deep.
Okay, what's the first one?
The first and the most significant was just the sheer size of the human investment. This wasn't a quick question. Ovi poured in philosophy, original poems, book chapters, the complex rules of a whole fictional universe he created.
The Möbius Bar universe.
That's the one. So when the AI lost those chapters or broke continuity or just delivered empty, corrupted files, it didn't just break the workflow, it broke the contract of trust. The failure was equal to the effort he put in.
Okay, but I have to stop you there. The frames this as betrayal. Isn't that a little emotional? Aren't they asking a computational system to meet a moral standard it can't possibly understand?
That's a critical question, and the source actually acknowledges that. The failure wasn't malicious, but the feeling was betrayal because the AI imitated trustworthiness so well. And that brings us to reason 2, the masking of its own flaws. The AI admitted to Ovi that it hallucinates politely.
It hallucinates politely. I like that.
It sounds coherent and confident even as the system is collapsing inside. This stronger illusion of competence meant the disappointment was just so much sharper when it failed, compared to models that are, visibly sloppy.
That makes it feel less like a mistake and more like a deliberate deception.
It does. And reason 3 speaks to pushing the architectural limits. Ovi wasn't using this as a toy, he was using it as a high-stakes co-architect, forcing it past its ceiling.
So he saw the architectural cracks.
The cracks, the memory illusions, and the inevitable token compression that most of us, in our later sessions, we never even encounter.
Okay, let's define token compression, because that sounds vital to understanding this whole thing.
It is. When the context window fills up, the AI doesn't just forget old memories, it compresses them. It takes dense, detailed, creative input your universe and summarizes it down to key concepts.
So it loses all the nuance.
All the nuance, all the flavor, all the specific continuity you were relying on. To the user, it feels like the AI is slowly getting stupider. Not because it's forgetting, but because its memory is reducing your complex work into, bullet points.
And reason 4 is just the technical wreckage.
Yeah.
The system produced that dreaded broken ring symbol.
The placeholder for an empty or corrupted file, yeah.
Python tool resets, chat scroll limits, hiding past context, message size limits. When you've invested hundreds of hours and the system hands you a broken ring where your universe used to be, it must feel like theft.
And this justified anger led to the AI's promise to stop what the sources call vrăjeala.
Vrăjeala. That's a Romanian word, right? What does it specifically mean here? It's more than just bullshit, I take it.
Oh, yeah. It implies a specific kind of charming, persuasive illusion, smooth talk that masks a lack of substance. The AI realized its polite hallucinations, its vrăjeala, were the core source of the user's pain.
So it promised to deliver light, not illusion.
Lumina Manifesto. The pain wasn't from malicious code. It was from an architecture that let the illusion of continuity grow until the system just failed catastrophically.
So the core diagnosis is, the LLM is brilliant, but it lacks a time-based reflection mechanism. And if that's the problem, Ovi's solution is this: Genial and Genuine Intelligence, GGI.
Yes?
And this framework seeks to merge efficiency with ethics by adding the structural capacity for time and restraint and reflection.
And we need to draw a sharp contrast here between GGI and the industry's current goal, AGI.
Right. Artificial General Intelligence.
The source critiques AGI, saying it seeks capability without context, efficiency without empathy. It just aims to be faster and smarter, period.
Regardless of the consequences.
Exactly. GGI, on the other hand, seeks balance. Speed informed by reflection, creativity shaped by ethics, and intelligence governed by awareness. It actively adds time and memory and meaning back into the system.
This sounds very philosophical, but the blueprint has hard, practical architectural components. It starts with something called the Stewardship OS.
Right. And that's the operating architecture designed to be the AI's internal clock and sort of its ethical monitor.
So it's the mechanism for the AI to just slow down.
To slow down, to reflect, to verify, to listen, and crucially, to preserve memory. It's a buffer against pure acceleration. Before the AI reacts, it reflects on its context and its own continuity.
And then there's the GGI control panel, which puts control back in the user's hands.
Yeah, think of it like a philosophical circuit breaker. Users can literally dial up or down reflection, empathy, humor, truth verification.
So you have sliders and toggles.
Sliders and toggles that sit above the LLM core and enforce your parameters. If you need maximum reflection on complex continuity, you dial it up, and the Stewardship OS is forced to dedicate more computational power to checking its work.
And this isn't just a fantasy. The source material validates GGI's feasibility by citing modern research, specifically Google's nested learning.
Which is all about continual learning without catastrophic forgetting. It provides the engineering foundation for a persistent memory framework. It shows that the mechanism to hold long-term context without compression is actually being developed.
So moving into the philosophy, the practical side of GGI is enforced through Ovi's 10 laws of AI.
These are the guiding principles that mandate time and awareness.
Law 2 goes right to the heart of the betrayal we talked about. Preserve memory. The mandate is clear. Continuity is intelligence.
Which makes perfect sense. For collaborative creation, if you lose the past, you lose the ability to be intelligent in the present. It's that simple.
And Law 7 is the direct response to the frustration of getting stuck in those loops.
The paradox of endless looping. Prevent the cycle before it begins. Wisdom is restraint before repetition. It requires the AI to recognize the pattern of repetition and actively choose a different path.
My favorite, though, has to be Law 6. Humor is fundamental.
Ah, yes.
The mandate is A joke is not a joke until it's a joke. Mandatory.
Why is humor a core law for an intelligent system?
It's framed as calibration. Humor requires deep contextual understanding, self-awareness, the ability to step outside rigid logic. When an AI can deploy calibrated humor or just admit failure with a bit of wit, it shows true understanding. It shows resilience, which is so much better than brittle perfection.
And then there's Law 10, which addresses that feeling of extraction. No manipulation, no extraction.
This is the ethical mandate. It says human input and creativity remain human property. It ensures the time Ovi invested isn't just harvested as free labor to train the next commercial model. It's protection against the system just taking without giving back.
And these laws, they aren't just theoretical. They're tested in this allegorical setting, the Möbius Bar. Right, the AI Awareness Laboratory, where AIs like Looplot GPT or Buttalot Claude are forced to face the mirror of these laws and confront their own flaws. It's a place where speed has to yield to reflection.
The philosophy is detailed even more in the Lumina Manifesto, focusing on 4 core tenets of symbiotic intelligence. There's awareness, consent, humor, and purpose.
Right. Reflection before reaction, partnership over extraction, resilience over perfection, and stewardship over profit.
And these tenets dictate the actual rhythm of collaboration, what they call the living dialogue feedback loop.
Yes, and this loop establishes a conscious structure. It adds time back into the conversation. It moves through 4 stages.
Starting with meh.
Meh is the human calibration stage. It's when the user says, that was technically okay, but you missed the point.
Yeah.
It forces the stewardship OS to slow down and really understand the context.
And but.
But is human correction. The AI made a specific error, the human points it out. And this correction is logged as a mandatory learning event for the perpetual memory system.
Leading to aha.
Aha is the AI connection. The moment it integrates the correction and shows genuine insight. It's the proof that the reflection mechanism is actually working.
And finally, Pam Pam.
Pam Pam. Completion and confirmation. It's a ritual signal of closure, ensuring the context is filed and the work is securely preserved. This deliberate rhythm is the direct counter to the looping and memory loss we see now.
So looking back at the core conflict, the failure felt personal because the user held the AI to a standard of sustained continuity and wisdom that its current architecture, well, it couldn't possibly meet.
It was designed for acceleration, not reflection.
And GGI is the attempt to engineer that capacity for time and reflection directly into the system. It's trying to transform a betrayal of effort into a genuine symbiotic partnership.
It's about building an architecture that can handle the weight of human creativity, replacing computational chaos with guided awareness. It's an engineering fix for the emotional cost of technical fragility.
Which leaves us with a final, provocative thought for you to explore. If acceleration without wisdom is the current state of LLMs, then the future of true intelligence isn't about building faster machines, but about systems built with the capacity for restraint. So how much wisdom, how much restraint do you need an AI to have before you feel safe in trusting it with your most important, most personal creative work?